Thinking about what to buy at on New Comic Book Day? Thinking of getting something different to the big two? Well, you're in for a ride because I am Dodgy from Comic Crusaders. Check us out on comiccrusaders.com and make sure you click like and subscribe to get more from Comic Crusaders. And join me as we'll go through the books to pick up on New Comic Book Day that are not from the big two. And don't forget to also check out your local comic book store. So I'm going to go through some license honorable mentions, and these honorable mentions are basically toy lines and things like that, toy lines, cartoons, and that includes Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 119 that you see here. And let me pull up the next slide, and that will be Transformers Warworld number 32, Rick and Morty Presents Hotel Immortal number 1, My Little Pony number 100, and Mighty Morphin Power Rangers number 9. Now I'm going to move on to 2000 AD, and 2000 AD have released an all-ages book. That's 2000 AD Regine Volume 2, an all-ages sci-fi anthology series with various creators with Judge Dredd, Judge Anderson, and Johnny Alpha. So you get some big-name characters there. Then move on to Ablaze. And Ablaze has another Sumerian title, and that is The Man-Eaters of Zambula. Robert E. Howell's 1935 short story retold in comic book form. And as you'll see here, a few different variant covers to to tickle all fancies. So they're really nice looking covers there. And then we've got Captain Harlock, Space Pirate number 2, creator Leiji Matsumoto working with Jerome Aoki. So they're working together to create a new story for fans all around the world. And as we know, Leiji Matsumoto is actually the creator of Captain Harlock Space Pirate. So that's pretty cool to see that we've got the original creator there. And then we've got Aftershock. And Aftershock bring us Beyond the Breach. This story is based on 80s fantasy. It's written by Ed Brisson with art by Damien Cuchero. Apologies if I'm mispronouncing your name. And then we've got Bunny Mask number 2, a horror series by Paul Tobin and Andrea Muti. So this is quite a popular book at the moment by Aftershock. And then we move on to American Anthology Productions, which bring us American Mythology Monsters, an anthology tale of 3 original stories by various creators for fans of Universal Monsters and Hammer. Antarctic Press, they bring us Death by Life, number 3 of 8, of an 8-part series, a war between death versus life. Who is the victor? AWA Upshot, they give us Moss number 2 of 6, a 6-part miniseries by legendary writer JMS with art by Mike Choi. What would you do if you only had 6 months to live? Boom Studios. So Boom are still bringing us another Berserker number 1. This is the 5th print. Hopefully this will be the final, as I'm sure a lot of people would already have the 1st or 2nd print already. Good to see that this Keanu Reeves and Matt Kite machine are still going strong. And then we've got Mouse Guard, The Owl and Caretakers and Other Tales. Fresh new story, short stories by creator David Peterson. Then we've got Eve, number 3 of a 5-part miniseries set in an apocalyptic world by Victor Lavelle. And then we have, that's another variant cover there. And then 7 Secrets, number 10. Winning praises from fans and critics alike by Australian superstar Tom Taylor. We see some more variant covers. And then Dark Horse. Dark Horse bring us a few books, one of which is Black Hammer Visions, more sci-fi adventures of Cthulhu, and that's L-O-U, by industry heavyweight Cullen Bunn. So we get to see more variant covers there, pretty cool. And then Hellboy Universe Essentials. These essential stories were handpicked by Mike Mignola himself. And then we've got the House of Lost Horizons, a Sarah Jewell mystery, number 3 of a 5-part miniseries. This seems to be one for the horror fans. And then we've got the True Lives of the Fabulous Killjoys, a National Anthem trade paperback collecting issues number 1 to 6 by Gerard Way. Pretty popular writer there. Then we've got Norse Mythology 2, number 2, by legends Neil Gaiman and P. Craig Russell. So here we go. And then we've got Rangers of the Divine #3, a fantasy series by jack of all trades Megan Huang, who's a writer, artist, inker. She basically did everything. I really admire that. And then we've got Raptor, a so-called graphic novel. Dave McKean's first creator-owned project. Then we've got The Secret Land #2 of a 4-part series. A book banned in Germany with the use of the SWAT sticker. Focuses on the aftermath of World War II in Nazi Germany. And here we go. We've got Savage Hearts #1, a humor fantasy adventure of a female barbarian. Bit different there. And then we've got Dynamite Entertainment. And Dynamite have given us The Boys #1. And this is the Dynamite edition, which was originally printed by Wildstorm and DC before it was canned. A must for fans. So if you haven't ever had the opportunity to get #1, this is your chance. Do yourself a favor and get it. Then we've got Barbarella #1, the French comic by Jean-Claude Forest, made famous by the young Jane Fonda. This book is looks fairly decent. A lot of nice variant covers there. Very popular, in 1968, a nice fantasy movie. And then we've got Dynamite Lives #2, in spirit of Marvel Zombies and Deceased. Characters in the Dynamite universe take on zombified versions of themselves. You can see here, you've got Vampirella, then we saw Ash, and here we see Red Sonja. I believe I might have used some of the images twice. Apologies for that. And here we have the Invincible Red Sonja by Amanda Connor, Jimmy Palmiotti, with art by Moritat. Sorry. Just a new version of the Red Sonja series, made famous by Roy Thomas in the 1970s. There we go. And then lastly, another book from Dynamite. It's Vampirella versus Purgatory. Vampire takes on the Redskin Demon Lady, created by Lady Death creators Brian Pulido and Stephen Hughes. Good to see their legacy is still going on in the Dynamite universe. There we go. See some more images there. What are you guys' thoughts? I mean, there are a lot of variant covers in the Dynamite U, almost as many as you see in the big two. So what are your thoughts on that? I'd just love to see any description below. Now we're moving on to Heavy Metal Magazine, who've been known for their oversized magazine form books. It's nice to see them doing some floppies, and one of the floppies here is Never Never #5, listed as an amalgamation of Peter Pan, The Hunger Games, and Lord of the Flies. So I'm really intrigued just by that title alone, or that description in Heavy Metal Magazine. Makes me very intrigued and wanting to pick this up. And then we've got Tana #6, the finale of a 6-part miniseries, The Battle of the Gods. It seems to be a nice kind of fantasy book. It takes you away. A bit of escapism won't hurt anybody. I'm just really liking the images that I've seen on the covers. Even the interior art looks pretty good as well. I mean, I should have looked around a little bit earlier. I might see if there's a trade available in the forthcoming months. Then we move on to Humanoids. And Humanoids has a very interesting book. It's called Miss Better Living Through Crime. This is a trade paperback. It's a period piece. It involves a almost like a Bonnie and Clyde type story. It involves a lady named Nola, a streetwise woman, and Slim, an African-American pimp. They work together. So who knows what this entails, but it looks really, really interesting. Now we move on to IDW. Only one book here from IDW, and that is Canto 3, Lionhearted #1 of 6. Canto was a surprise hit by IDW. They really, it was really their version of The Walking Dead. Just a low print run that had a lot of buzz and a lot of hype around it. So Canto is a Clockwork Knight, The art looks gorgeous, and he's going on another adventure trying to try to make light of their clockwork hearts that that all the people in his world have been given. So yeah, definitely interesting, definitely one to pick up. Then we'll move on to Image. So Image has another book like Kanto that's pretty hot, and that is Die. If you've got issue number 1, I gave it away. I regret it now because it's now going for $40 US. So Die number 18 now is Kieran Gillen's surprise hit. In this book, there's a focus on the Golden Child and what's the story with the Golden Child. It basically says you've got to read it to find out. So, not a bad way to advertise your book. And then we've got another, that's another variant cover. And then we've got Ha Ha, number 6. Okay, judging by this cover alone, you think it's a kid's book. It's definitely not for kids. It's about, about the adventure of Happy Hank, the happy clown. And there's another variant cover there. And then we've got Helm Grey Castle, number 3 or 4. It's a Top Cow imprint. It's a Latin fantasy by Henry Barajas. And there's another variant cover there for you. It's probably a nicer looking cover there. And then we've got the Oblivion Song. This is a trade paperback number 2. This is by Skybound imprint, collecting issues number 13 to 24. Includes concept art and original sketches inside. And here we have Oblivion Song number 32 by Robert Kirkman. The battle between Earth and the Kuthal rages on. Will Nathan Cole be able to save the day? That seems to be the motto of this book. And then we've got Man-Eater the Curse number 1 by Chelsea Kane. Maud is now 15 years old and is sent to the craft camp for the week. Things go pear-shaped pretty quickly. I mean, judging by the what happens in these stories and what happens to women when they menstruate, I would not want to be in the same room, put it that way. And there's another variant cover there. And then we've got Man of Yongyi number 5. Top Cow imprint, a swashbuckling adventure book about a pirate queen and Bonnie and her misadventures. Actually, it looks pretty good. I mean, look at that cover. It's beautiful right there. And then we've got another variant cover there. And another. So definitely it looks quite interesting. Almost has that Pirates of the Caribbean feel to it. And then we've got Moonshine number 26, a noir-like horror book with a friggin' werewolf. Enough said. I mean, look at that cover alone. Like, I'm sold, put it that way. Some good things coming out of Image nowadays. And then we've got Skybound X number 2. So more of Rick Grimes 2000. And the first app of Everyday Hero Machine Boy. And I think that Machine Boy is going to be a hit. I believe this is him right here. Looks very cute. I don't know. I think he'd be pretty popular. He might. This book might be a hit. So do yourself a favor and grab this, especially this cover here. It looks pretty amazing. And then we see the black and white version, and then I believe this is also Rick Grimes 2000. I mean, who would have thought we would have seen like a Star Wars type Walking Dead type story? Anyways, and then we've got Silvercoin number 4 of 5. The year is 2467, and the world has resulted in becoming a massive trash heap. So I guess, plastic and everything else is not doing the world any good. And in amongst the trash, there is a young scavenger who discovers a hidden treasure. This is written by Jeff Lemire, so you know that it's going to be fairly decent. And then we've got the 6 sidekicks of Trigger Keaton. Legendary action hero Trigger Keaton is found dead, and his 6 sidekicks are determined to live up to his name. And there's another variant cover there. I actually thought that was a TV guide, just randomly amongst it, but it was actually a variant cover for this book. And then we've got Kaboom, a Boom imprint. And then we have Orcs number 6 of 6, about an adventurous orc set out for gold and glory and everything in between, written by Christine Larson. So, interesting. I mean, I don't know. I'm not sure what I'd make of this, but definitely worth the check out. Hopefully, we get the trade in the next couple of months because it is the final issue. And there's another variant cover there. And then we've got Mad Cave. Mad Cave, a great upstart company, and they're bringing us Nottingham #4. So this is a Robin Hood story, except we're seeing it through the eyes of the Sheriff of Nottingham. So very intriguing. The art, though, looks very, very good. I mean, look at those covers, man. Like, beautiful covers there. And this one in particular. And then we've got Storm King Productions, which gives us John Carpenter presents Storm King's The Sacred Hearts. With JC's name attached to the project, you know what kind of genre this will be. And one of my friends who actually joined me on the Yeah-Nah Wepa Show, that was Nat Jones. He collaborated with this book. Definitely one for horror fans. I know Almega would be loving this if he was checking out his local comic book shop. Then we've got Valiant Entertainment. And Valiant have rebooted again, Ninjak #1. Colin King is back. I actually really enjoyed the Ninja K books that he had, like Ninja J and all the other letters of the alphabet at the end of Ninja. I actually thought that was pretty decent. I hope that Jeff Parker picks up where the previous story left off. I'm definitely quite the Valiant fan, so definitely one I'd be excited about. And then we're going to move on to, there's another variant cover there of Ninjak. Welcome to Turkey. Nice. I love that image right there. That's kind of how you'd love to see Ninjak, just jumping out of the screen. And then we've got Zenoscope. So, and Zenoscope gives us a couple of books here. First one is Oz Annual, which includes Patchwork Girl from Earl Frank Baum. The Patchwork Girl, written way back in 1913. Jeepers creepers. It's really hard to believe that The Wizard of Oz is really that old. I mean, good golly, over 100 years old. And here we go, Zenoscope, giving us some of that Oz love by bringing back all these characters in current, how can I say, artistic ways. So definitely, this image alone just jumps out at you. I love it. And then we've got Grim Fairy Tales #50, the final issue. Will our heroes make it out of the fairy tale world alive? I mean, definitely a great finale. And here we see some beautiful art there of some of the characters from fairy tale world. This one's very unusual, but definitely one to check out. So if you guys are really enjoying this run, I'd love to hear your feedback, because I'm not all that knowledgeable about Zenoscope books, because I don't know, I just feel that they're just the cover alone just kind of makes it all look overly sexualized. So I'd just love to see what you guys think of the interiors. So definitely please let me know in the descriptions below. And thank you for joining us here on my very first Indie Comics Insider for New Comic Book Day. So definitely send us a message, give some feedback. I'd love to hear from you again and again. Don't forget to click like and subscribe, and check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and everything in between. And also go to comiccrusaders.com. I am Dodgy. Thank you for watching. See you next time.
Thank you. We hope you've enjoyed this Comic Crusaders production. For real-time news on all things pop culture, please feel free to follow us on social media. For articles, original content, merchandise, and more, please go to www.comiccrusaders.com. Also follow along with all of the websites in the Comic Crusaders family. As always, if you like this content, please click like and subscribe to the Comic Crusaders YouTube channel.